the issue going on in South Africa at the moment, do you think
Mhm.
The South Africans are right with what they are doing, or do you think they are kind of like overreacting, you know, as to how they are handling the Nigerians, and all that?
Hmm.
The South Africans, they are defending their land, and I salute them for standing up for their land. This is what Ghanaians we have to do. They are not overreacting. You see, they cannot sit down where people will come to their country and then begin to indoctrinate their children to be selling drugs, to be doing Yahoo, and a whole lot of these criminal activities. I have a close friend of mine who lives in Croydon. His wife is South African, and I've been talking to them all the time. He tells me, Uncle, look, he calls me Uncle Isaac because their son calls me Uncle. He says, Uncle Isaac, look, before these people came to our country, we didn't know what this cocaine and this Yahoo is all about. Now our children, they are engaged in it. They are selling drugs here and there, and they are being intoxicated with these dangerous drugs. And so they are not overreacting anything. I salute the South Africans for doing what they are doing. Everybody must protect his own space. If you go to the forest, the animal kingdom, you see every animal protecting their own forest. If you look at the lions, if a male lion has about 3 female lions there and another male is coming, you see that you go and fight with that male lion so that they will not come and then take over their woman or whatever they call it. And so we have to protect our space. The South Africans, they are protecting their spaces. In Seychelles, they don't want Nigerians there. In Mauritania, they don't want Nigerians there. Are they stupid? No. Are they hateful? Are they xenophobic? Label them whatever name you want to label them. But at the end of the day, they will have their space. Even Equatorial Guinea, they are not comfortable with them. Are they hateful? No. They are protecting their space. And we have to protect our space. It's our right, our God-given right. The Nigerians have their right to protect their space. And so they should go back to their country and protect their space. And that is all. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Manji.
yes.
So, do you think the South Africans are right, or they are overreacting, or could it be they are kind of like sending out wrong informations about the Nigerians?
I don't think South Africans are wrong in anywhere, in any angles. They are 100% right. Look at what they're doing to us. So you can imagine if the same thing they're doing over there. How can they, South Africans, are being xenophobic or whatever the word that they use? They are okay. South Africans, I support them 100%. Okay, because how can you can imagine we Ghanaians have traveled to a different countries. When we go, we humbled ourselves because we know where we come from. We know we don't have jobs in our country. So we are trying to work hard to put food on the table, to be able to take care of our parents, our brothers and sisters. So wherever Ghanaians go, you know how people over there try to accommodate us. See, right now, America and Ghana soldiers, they are working together. You see what I mean? They are working together. Do you think if Ghana or Ghanaians behave like Nigerians, we will get a visa to visit any prestigious countries? No. So what they're doing in Ghana, I believe they're doing the same thing over there. So how can I sit down here and try to, become a hypocrite or whatever, because they're doing to us. And the same thing they're doing over there. You went to somebody's country, you're doing bad things. They are complaining every day. And then you guys are now listening to them. South Africa told you to live in their country. See what they were doing. They were holding catalysts, calling them to come front. They will kill them. Do we, going to accept these people in our country, Ghana? If in Ghana they don't respect us, they come out and tell us that they don't take Ghana serious. Ghana is free. Ghana is peaceful because why? They are in there killing people and nobody is complaining about it. You won't see any press conference that when they kill the ministers or the leaders or whatever will come out and address that issues. So they think it's normal thing. So Ghana is so free. So when they come out and say Ghana is peaceful, Ghana is this, it's because they are able to do their bad things in there. And that is exactly what South Africans are doing. They say, no, we won't allow foreigners to come and destroy our country for us because this is all we have. So South Africans, they haven't done any wrong thing. They are just protecting their country. They are trying to, build a future for their future leaders. So they haven't done any wrong thing. I support them 100%.
Okay. Hamagana.
Yes. So,
Yeah, what's the take on that?
yes, South Africa is right to, because let's go back in history. When when apartheid ended and Nigerians trooped in, then they didn't have work, so they started doing whatever. They started taking over buildings. Do you understand? They took over, like when I heard that, they took it over and they were renting. You see, because they have this aggressive nature. Okay, so I'm just saying that it took a while for South Africa to get where they are before they started reacting, right? Because they are taking over whole buildings and doing whatever, right? Okay, so what I've noticed about Nigerians is they are very good at labeling to back you up, so they'll call you xenophobic, jealous. That's why I don't care on my channel. I want them to come and say that whatever they want to say. So they'll label you and try to back you into a corner. But I know their psyche, so I'm ready for them. So that's what they do. And then you back off and be like, am I really xenophobic? So if you don't come back with like, yeah, whatever, I don't care, no, then they think they've gotten a foothold. So you have to know the psyche, the kind of people you are dealing with. They are very aggressive and they're in your face. And that's why they take our leaders for jokes. Because, ours are so diplomatic. I wish I could have an office. So they'll come and sit in front of me and ask me some questions. So that I'll be like, oh, really? Because that's the kind of language they get. You cannot pussyfoot. You cannot treat them with gloved hands. That there's a certain mentality that you have to deal with them, and until you get there, and it's almost. I don't want to go to another area. There are other people who act like them sometimes, but let me just leave that out alone. Anyway, so you have to know the psyche of the people you are dealing with. So South Africans kept saying, "Don't do it. You are ruining our kids. You are ruining." And let me just put this here. When we are talking like this, we are not saying Ghanaians are perfect. We are not saying South Africans are perfect. Nobody is perfect. But when you come in their space, it's almost like you are going to someone's house. You are going to visit. Do you think it doesn't matter how much you are loved? Their children come first. They can treat you equally, but their children will come first. They will treat you nicely, but their children come first. So when you come and the child has, Nikes or Michael Jordans or whatever, and you want it, you might get it, but you might not. And that doesn't mean that why won't you give? No, you are not fighting over, your parent, your President Tinubu should be providing instead of giving you bread. It's as simple as that. Instead of handing you bread, he should be taking care of you. But up to now, you guys don't have, and the systems are not working there. So they provide their own water. Apparently, every house has a borehole. So there's no connected water throughout. So South Africa is an advanced country, fairly advanced. For an African country, they are up there. They are up there, So if you go there, be appreciative, but no, we're going to belittle you to make ourselves feel better. Because when we put you down, then we are the giants. No, you have to respect their space, and they fought back. And South Africans are not tolerant like Ghanaians, You have to know the temperament of the people you're dealing with. South Africans are not going to sit down and let you push them around. Ghanaians will do it quietly. And that's why they say you are a hypocrite. No, we want you. So when you go into a land, you observe them and you understand how they operate. But you don't go in like a bull in a China house. No, South Africans are totally different from Ghanaians. And you have to know that. So your aggressiveness, they can come at you too. And now you are crying xenophobic. So they label you and then they think you will back off. But now people are onto them, because America, not everyone in the world cannot be against you. It has to be you. You are the common denominator. So you have to look into yourself. So it is what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So, Madam Vic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna just refer back a little bit recent issue that happened regarding some Uber issue that happened between South Africa and Nigeria. The sad, the sad thing regarding that issue is, a lot of foreigners in South Africa, that's the job they do. They do Uber.
Yeah.
A lot of Nigerians are also there with them, and a lot of them to do Uber. And the joyous that Nigerians feel that they are disturbing. I think South Africa has to shut Uber down or something like that. I'm not sure. Something happened that they have to put a shutdown for a period or a short period.
Because you order it from outside the country. I think you can't order it from Nigeria.
The Nigerians were ordering the Uber outside the country.
Yeah, sending them all over the place. And if you observe on social media with the glee and the joy that they were expressing themselves, that they have done it to the South Africans. But you've done it to the South Africans, but you are hurting your own brothers that they are there hustling. And secondly, I saw so much energy that they put into it, and I asked myself, are they putting the same energy into tackling their government to resolve their issues?
Exactly.
Nigeria is a brilliant country if it's run properly. Nigeria will be a superpower if it's run properly. I don't have any issue. If Nigeria is run properly, it will be a superpower in West Africa or even Africa. But you reserve all this energy for South Africans, whom some of your brothers are there doing Uber.
Insulting
and
people,
with the energy that they came on social media, I was shocked. The South Africans too, you have to look at the fact that these people, this recent history, they come out of apartheid. That thing it was a serious issue for the Black people. When they came in, as usual, their leaders, the Black, they managed to get into power. They just started looking after themselves and neglected a whole lot of people who are also struggling there. Okay? And you guys come in numbers. They have their social issues. Then you come in to compile upon that social issues. It could be that South Africans have maybe criminals. Every society have their criminals. Okay, so South Africans may have about 4 criminals.
We all do. That's all.
Exactly. Are you saying is it right for you to bring 4 in to make it 8?
That's
not right. Yes.
That's what they don't say.
Exactly. So you have to remember that nobody, I'm sorry, in this world, nobody wants problematic immigration. Every country will have to take in some people at some point. But nobody wants problematic situation, the situation that they are dealing with. And let's be frank, in West Africa, our government, in the whole West Africa, have the same issue. Not enough jobs, not enough social amenities like housing. Our education is struggling. People are struggling to survive. So why should we allow another group with the same issue come and deposit themselves on another place? They will make the case double. So it is just
and don't be quiet about it. They insult you while they are at it and belittle you too.
It is not practical. And considering their numbers, if you divide our population, you have to divide their population into 5 before we are 1. So if we have many of them coming, believe me, the social issues is going to be too much for Ghana to handle. And at the end of the day, The reason why we pride us, so Ghana is peaceful, or they come to Ghana is peaceful, within 5 or 10 years, the place will collapse. And you have similar situation like what happened in Avoria in Ghana. Believe me, if we care is not taken, we need to control the people that come in. We need to make sure the people that are coming is what needed. We need to make sure that when they come in and their time for them to leave, they leave. If they come in with no job, you kind of have a whole lot of young men come into a place, go and rent 30 to a house, and then all of them with computers doing Yahoo. That is what's happening in Ghana. I'm not saying some of our people are not involved, so they too are involved. But at the end of the day, there are people. Let us deal with them.
Yeah. At least barely, controlling it, and then you are come to add to it. No, stay in your country and be bad.
It is our people. Let us deal with them. So at the end of the day, all the argument they are making, South Africa is xenophobic. South Africa is not xenophobic. South Africa is only trying to look after themselves. And because they've been complaining, and their leaders and the police were all over the place, that's what brought about the issue. If the police have been dealing with the case, and if they're not careful, Ghana will go into a similar kind of place. Because now and they can tell you they bought our police, they bought our immigration, they bought our politicians, they even bought our chiefs. What else do you think? what else? What else is left?
They should go get their money.
You know this thing you are talking about. I was listening to one South African, this their normal thing they do, like discussing issues online like we are doing. And they were saying, whenever they bring up this issue, the Nigerians go like, what is your problem? Let the police deal with the issues.
Yeah,
then
the same thing they will say.
Also goes like, because you know you have cornered the police, or you have corrupted the police. So you want us to leave the whole issue to the police, for the police to mishandle it. So it's like, in this case, it's more or less like the same thing going on here in Ghana sometimes.
Yeah, that's why the Igbo king is, parading himself, giving gift to our leaders, so that when they commit any crime or anything, and then you call the police can never fight for his own citizens. He's going to go fight for them. Can you imagine this? That is why all the police.
He wants to be called to come and see whether the person is actually
exactly. So that Igbo king need to stop. He shouldn't go to see any leader, or that's why he's been coming out and saying that bad nut is everywhere. Yes, Ghanaians are not angels, but we are not going to accept Nigerians bad nuts in our country. We can do that.
If Ghana has their own population getting into trouble, it's Ghana's business. Let Ghana deal with it. It's not up to you to come and tell us. So because we have a bad nut, we should allow your bad nut? No.
Exactly. And that's what you want.
The first time I heard this phrase or this statement, and all the time I keep hearing it from only Nigerians.
Of course.
Yeah, they know. We hear them saying they are
because they are paying bribes. They are paying bribes to people instead of them to sit down and learn and stay away from trouble. They will trouble and go pay money. Are they sensible people?
Yeah, Rash. What you are saying is very true. Wherever you go on these platforms, they'll be like, just report to the police. Why can't that means your police is not working, your immigration is not working, and but that's an issue.
The same issue we have in Ghana, you replicate it about 10 times, they have the same issue there. Their police is not working. That's why
exactly. That's why they want that to be reported, because they know it's ineffective, so they can get away. They don't want citizens to take things into their own hands, so they keep saying, "Why don't you report it to the police? They're not doing their job." They're very good at reverse psychology. That it's the people that are not doing their jobs. It's not really the criminals. It's not our business. We can be criminals, but if your immigration doesn't come, If your police
Mhm.
doesn't catch us, then what have
Yeah,
got to do with it?
that's
That's the
why.
nonsense response.
Yeah, that is what Angie was saying. That a YouTuber was saying that the immigration told him, came to him, they came to the house, and she had the audacity to tell the immigration
Yeah,
if they want
the
her, they
blatant
should come for her. I recently wrote to one of them and asked her, excuse me, what are you doing? Who asked you? Did Ghanaians ask you to be on social media? Ghana comparison this. He said, well,
Yeah.
then somebody wrote to me back and said, oh, you ungrateful people. At the end of the day, they are promoting your country. I said,
We
no, they are
don't
doing
care.
a
We don't
foreign
want them
favor.
to promote Ghana.
Nobody asked them. No Ghanaian asked them to come and
You
promote
know,
anything.
Ghanaians, we
Yeah.
don't promote ourselves. Our good behaviors promote us all the time. So they shouldn't.
You don't
We don't need them.
you blow your own trumpet. As soon as you say, oh, we are the most. Let me tell you something while I'm on this subject. You know that thing that they usually spout in America, and I think I'll do a paper, I'll do a research, make a video on it. There's this thing that they usually say that we are the most, we are the smartest, we have the most doctors. You know, it was a Nigerian American who wrote that, right? So they write things and they use it as proof that when you understand how they think, and operate, it's like it's
Let me tell you something,
exactly.
right? There's a lot of truth in it. They are smart, they are hardworking, but do it
Yes,
to build your country. There's no
thank
problem.
you. Exactly. Why are you doing it on other people's land and then trying to belittle them?
Go
Say
and build
you
your
are smart.
country.
No,
Build
What
your
kind of
do it.
country.
smart they are?
Yeah, do it